But for the purposes of this event, I will acknowledge our guest of honor.
Good evening. Good evening. Bonsoir à toutes et à tous. Honorable Ministers of State in charge of public reforms, Madame Lydia Lamisi Akanvariba. Dear Minister in charge of energy, my brother John Jinapor. Honorable Minister of Sport, honorable members of Parliament, Nanom Nimei Namei Togbe, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The time for Nana Kwame to fix the microphone. I think that it should be better like that. I'm incredibly pleased to welcome you this evening to celebrate the French National Day in the gardens of the Rénovate Residence de France. This event is an opportunity to, of course, celebrate the values of the French Republic. Liberté, égalité, fraternité. Liberty, equality, fraternity. In an increasingly uncertain world, it's important to remind ourselves of these benchmarks that must guide our actions. Since this evening is also an opportunity to take stock of the past year, I would like to begin by highlighting the successful organization of the general elections in Ghana and the peaceful political change that followed. Dear Ghanaians, you have shown once again that your country is still the beacon of democracy, the beacon of stability in West Africa and in Africa. Ghana has entered a new phase, and France stands by its side to support the initiative of the new government. I would like to thank you, Honorable Minister of State, Public Sector Reforms, for agreeing to share this moment with us. You just told me that today, because of an accident in your constituency, you were obliged to go there to handle, to fix some priorities, to be able to come back to Accra to attend this event. And on behalf of the French Republic, I would like to thank you. Your presence is a testament to the friendship between our two countries, Ghana and France, and our common willingness to continue to work together. The partnership between France and Ghana continues to develop in a spirit of mutual respect and shared interest. In 2025, France organized 2 events on major topics: artificial intelligence and the oceans, so that it was one of the best ways to the international community to gather to try to find a collective solution to move forward on this kind of themes. I would like to thank Ghana for its active participation in these two events, and I would like to applaud to Ghana's constant commitment to contribute to implement an effective multilateralism. Tonight, the best symbol of France-Ghana cooperation is the residence, renovated residence we are gathering today. Renovate residence after more than a year of work, and I thank all the companies that have worked to renew this unique national heritage. I would like, if you allow me, to express a special thank to Carol. I don't know where is Carol. Pierre. And Carol is our brilliant architect who led the work. And I would also, beyond Carol, thank Pierre and all the entire team. I was talking about this residence. It's indeed a Ghanaian heritage entrusted to France, and it is very important to us to preserve and enhance it, and that is what France-Ghana cooperation is all about. Co-building, co-construction, uniting our assets, preserving and building on our common interest in a partnership relationship for the mutual benefit of our countries and peoples. I would like to mention some areas in which our relationship is exemplary and which have developed significantly, particularly during the 3 years I spent in Ghana. Because education, skilling are at the heart of everything, let me start with higher education, research, and innovation. The most emblematic example of this partnership is the Artificial Intelligence for Sustainable Development project, which currently brings together KNUST, Kwame Nkrumah National University Science and Technology, and our University Paris-Saclay, two prestigious Ghanaian and French universities. We want to promote useful AI at the service of people, which is why this project focuses on concrete AI innovations which will have a visible impact in the field of, for instance, agriculture, health, education, while supporting Ghanaian startups. If we strengthen our cooperation in the field of higher education and research, it is also to respond to the training and employment challenges that affect so many young people in this country, to enable them to develop their potential. There are more young Ghanaians who are choosing to study in France, and we are very glad of that. These alumni, I met with some of them. I have a brief interaction with some of them. Both human and economic for the development of Ghana. They are. I would like to acknowledge those who are here tonight, particularly the new leaders of the Alumni France-Ghana Association, and to tell them that they are always welcome at the French Embassy, and that together with them, we will continue working to develop and enhance this alumni network. Another major area of our cooperation, which is now very well known in this country, a kind of French DNA in Ghana, is the cultural and creative industries, which is essential because it helps to promote not only the identity of Ghana on the one hand, but also it's one of the best way to promote entertainment, and beyond entertainment, to create jobs and activities. The first creation, Africa Ghana, was a remarkable success last year and achieved its goal of creating a bridge between art and entrepreneurship. This year, we are relaunching a second phase of Creation Africa Ghana with the same objective of supporting artists in their entrepreneurial development. To put it differently, how to bridge talent, creative artists with the business sector. Now, let me move on the Francophonie. Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to mention the challenge represented by Francophonie here in Ghana to promote exchanges with the French-speaking countries of the region and Africa. After being an associated state for a long time, more or less more than 30 years, Ghana became a full state member of the organization, International Organization of Francophonie, Francophonie Organization. At the last summit of this organization, it was in France. This is, of course, an impetus given at the highest level of the Ghanaian state to facilitate the appropriation of the French language in Ghana in all eras, not only in the ministry, of course, to start with the institution, but not only in the institution, to also reach the business sector and most of the real people on the ground. France stands by you to promote the learning of the French language with the support of the 5 Alliances Françaises here in Ghana. Alliance Française Accra, Alliance Française Kumasi, Alliance Française Tema, Alliance Française Takoradi, and Alliance Française Cape Coast. And I would like to salute and thank the directors and the staff tonight present with us. But let's not forget the Lycée Français International d'Accra. That is an excellent institution that recorded 100% success in the baccalaureate exam this year. So I would like you to applaud them. Honorable Ministers, about our cooperation and development, I would also like to highlight the work that AFD, Agence Française de Développement, that has been doing for 40 years now in this country, in the service of development in Ghana. EFD is making significant investment, often in co-financing with the European Union in sectors that are essential for this country. These projects are not only in the north, but we have a main focus in the north of the country, where the needs are the most urgent. A few weeks ago, I was in Tamale and Wa with my team. It was in April. And I was able to see firsthand how these projects were not only useful in the field of urban infrastructure and agriculture. The agricultural projects related to water management and the improvement of value chain are fully in line with the agricultural priority put forward by His Excellency President John Mahama and his government. Honorable Ministers, a few words about our defense and security cooperation. I will be very brief. These past 3 years, we took time to learn from each other, to work, to take time to build trust and confidence, to be now able to implement exemplary cooperations. I don't want to go too much into the detail, but I can tell you that about intelligence, training, maritime safety, security, what we are doing, France and Ghana, in this country is very, very exemplary. Why? It's easier before starting working together to take time to know better each other. The Ghana Armed Forces is maybe one of the most Republican army in the world. They are very professional. The French army, humbly speaking, we know a bit how to work on this kind of matters. But we also learn from our past. We were in many Francophone countries a few months, few years ago. And of course, don't trust all the fake news telling that the French, they are chasing. You know, I'm very proud to take this example. Yesterday, our Chief of Defense Staff, General Burkar, in a conference press, took this example I would like to share with you. In the 60s, General de Gaulle decided to invite the US and the Canadian to leave France. But we know how the US and the Canadian, they helped us during the Second World War. So it's not because things are not going very well, just because countries, they need sovereignty. It's what the Africans, they are doing, and it's very good. We'll continue working of the African countries that would like, in a mutual respect, after building trust, to continue working with us. And it's what we are doing here in Ghana. We were not present as a foreign army in this country. But what we are doing together, once again, is very exemplary, and I'm very proud of that. Economy is key, so I cannot share with you some words without talking about economy. And on the economic front, I would like to start by touching on the efforts supported by France to restructure Ghana's bilateral debt. The Paris Club, which has been for this purpose extending to what we call the common framework, has done a remarkable work that will soon enable Ghana to regain financial margins. And I'm very happy to announce here that France and Ghana should sign shortly the first bilateral agreement for the restructuring of sovereign debt. This result, let me tell you, is the fruit of a strong political volunteer carried at the highest level of the state in France by President Emmanuel Macron, not to abandon Ghana at the worst moment of the crisis it was going through. That is probably one of the best ways to recognize its best friend. France is also standing with Ghana's side to contribute to the country's economic recovery with sovereign loans from state to state in the field of maritime safety, for instance, and public health. I would like to also acknowledge the role of the France-Ghana Chamber of Commerce, which is contributing to Ghana's influence here in France. This National Day, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, gives the perfect opportunity to me to commend the private sectors, those who sponsor our National Day, and to a larger extent, all the French companies operating in Ghana and who contribute to the economic growth of this country. I don't want to give you too much figures, but if you allow me some. In a sometimes difficult context, these companies have chosen to stay in Ghana, to believe in this country and its opportunities. Of course, Ghana is a big country. Ghana is a very rich country, and we French, we know that. The French companies in Ghana have more than 50,000 direct and indirect jobs and 2.5 billion euros of investment already made. I'm quite happy to say that the private sector is the key element in the country's economic growth and modernization. Therefore, the business climate is essential for this country's recovery. The Ghanaian authorities have begun to restore investor confidence, and there is still a long way to go, but I would like to welcome the government's willingness to do so and to call on it to preserve a fair and frank competitive market for companies to invest in Ghana. Just one thing I would like our Ghanaian partners to do more effort. Of course, you cannot suspect me, someone like me. I'm French, I'm black, I'm West African. Then, the local content issue is the science of history. One day, at home, the Africans in the country, they will lead everything. That is the sense of the history. But to make it smartly, the local content could not appear like, okay, one day we'll decide you to go back home and we'll take everything you construct. I'm not saying that it's what is happening, but not only the French, all the foreign investors, because once again, this country is a big, rich country, democratic country that all of us, we want to continue work with. We just want the competition to be fair and free. Now, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you from my heart a personal legacy. As my time in Ghana draws to a close, I live with a heart full of gratitude, admiration for the Ghanaians. Your warmth, generosity, and unmatched hospitality have left an indelible mark on me. From the bustling street of Accra to the calm beauty of Tamale and Wa, I have encountered a spirit of resilience, grace, and pride that truly defines this remarkable nation. Over the past 3 years, it has been my honor to help strengthen the French-Ghana relationship across diplomacy, culture, education, security, economic cooperation. And together, we did a lot. I took some example before: Francophonie, creative industry, innovation. I'm glad to see my brother in charge of energy, but also in renewable energy. That links to climate change. We also did a lot about climate change, resilience and opportunity for the next generation. If I'm speaking of legacy, it lies not in speeches for ceremony. Those who knows me, I'm not like that. But it's a very tangible partnerships and structure we have built. We expanded our cooperation in higher education, sustainable development, artificial intelligence. We supported a startup, many Ghanaian companies here in this country. Then, let's not forget the cooperation with the Ghana Armed Forces. Once again, very exemplary. We are not here to stuck on the ground, to recreate I don't know what. We are just here to contribute for more security in this country and in the region. And let me tell you that this is the work I'm very proud to leave behind. A partnership that is stronger, more balanced, and more ambitious than it was 3 years ago. A relationship based on trust, result, and shared vision, not just to fun, to drink, to dance, but at the end of the day, and every time to think about, but why are we doing that? We are doing that for the Ghanaians and the French. And it is in this mood that this vision that I would like to quote my president, Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron, the president of the Republic of France, in his famous speech in Ouagadougou, it was in November 2017, exactly the 28th November 2017, and 2 days after we came here, I was with him. It was my first time in Ghana with Emmanuel Macron in November 2017. Emmanuel Macron said in Ouagadougou, I quote, Africa has no catching up to do. The Africans, they don't need any babysitters. It must no longer run on tracks laid down by others, but rather walk firmly on its own chosen path. And it's why we French, we really want to do, not only with the Ghanaian, but all the African continent. I cannot finish my speech without being grateful to my team, the embassy, but beyond the embassy, all the team friends, my family, and some good and loyal friends. Let's not forget the sponsors. Thank you. So I was talking that I have to thank my family, my team, the sponsors, of course, and some good friends here in Ghana. First of all, I would like to thank warmly my family and the few friends who will recognize themselves and who have been very loyal to help me, to advise me during my 3 years in this country. I cannot name all of them. I'm sorry, but those I will not name to pardon me. I'll start with Ambassador D.K. Osei, who is more than a father for me. My 2 first days I spent with him, and he is very, 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 very powerful and protective. Of course, Anna Bosman, my colleague who was your ambassador in Paris. Once again, I cannot name all of them, but in the diplomatic community, I have some very good friends. Me, I don't used to hide my friends because I don't have so many. So she's not with us tonight. Simone Jigger, my very good friend, very brilliant lady. Ingrid Molestad, very good friend. Khadija Amoua, very good friend. I also want to thank my dear sister, the ambassador of Morocco. My dear sister, you always tell me that we'll never walk alone. I'm Arsenal fan. I'm not a Liverpool fan. But I like this, to never walk alone. So I really want to thank you, my dear sister, ambassador of Morocco, Iman Wadil, and the good friend, not daily, but they were very, very instrumental to advise me. Nanaba, Sandra, Mame, Ahmed, Maouli, Charles, I saw Charles Chechiri, Daoud, Inoussa, Patience, etc., etc. Now, let's move to my team. And I'll start with the embassy. Come. My deputy, Raphaël. Jean-Noël. Come. Julien. Aliou Joseph. Maxime. Colonel Madeleine. Christine. Colonel Capdeville. Come. Fanny, Ivan, Fatia, Gabriel, Ingrid, Diane, Anne, Laurie, our Sandra and Alberta, Peter, Gifty, Nolwenn, Adeline, Olivier, and all the gendarmes. I know that they are working very hard, but applaud them because they did very, 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 very great. Maxime. Where is Frédéric? Frédéric. Okay, it's like Frédéric. Marine, come with us. J'ai oublié personne. Pierrick, Mathieu, Olivier, Gifty, Nolwenn, all of them. Julien is not there?
Il est à l'entrée, je pense.
Ah, Julien à l'entrée. OK. Ivan, Fatia. Ivan is also at... Fatia is there. OK. I request all the chiefs of services to extend. What is the Colonel Madeleine? What is the Colonel? OK. Harold, all of you, you know... Colonel, mais venez. You know Harold Wood. Harold is the intendant of this residence and the intendant at the embassy. Currently, he is facing some small health difficulty, but he is improving. But I cannot forget him because with my small family at the residence, Abigail, Prince, where is Prince? Prince, Maurice,
Prince.
Youssef, I've already talked about the gendarmes, all of them, the four. Now, of course, the Team France is not only the French embassy. I talk about Alliance Française de Développement, Lycée International d'Accra, Agence Française d'Accra, but les autres agences françaises aussi. So I would like to invite Clémentine, Dardy, Claire, Anne to join us. Because I was talking about our project in the north. Of course, we cannot make all this happen without Clémentine and her team. So invite, I don't know if Claire and Anne, they are also. Hélène, Alliance Française d'Accra. Elle n'est pas là. But I saw the